Hello, welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. Hopefully I will be able to do my long haul legacy later this week. Supposedly, at the very least, the glitches from the last update have been fixed in an update that came out yesterday, I believe, from when this video goes up. So the day before this video goes up, there was another update released and it fixed at least the glitches from the last update, basically. I do not think it fixed any of the problems with the high school game pack, and obviously it wasn't gonna fix any of the glitches that I talked about having aside from the high school game pack and update in my last video. One where I excessively used cheats to get various families and neighborhoods to where I wanted them to be, what I wanted them to look like and stuff. And then the freelance career tracks glitches, which have been around for a very long time apparently, and they've never been fixed. So I don't think they're ever going to get fixed. So I don't know if I should just drop Lacey's freelance career, leave it. Maybe other people aren't experiencing that glitch. I don't know. Sometimes glitches seem to be kind of hit and miss. So maybe other people aren't experiencing those kind of glitches, and so maybe I'll just leave it. And I'll leave. I can't remember their names now. This is the Tinker House. And I'll get to this in just a second here, but the two Tinkers that live here both have freelance careers. I think I might, the one that is the birth mother to the child, I might get rid of her freelance career and give her a different career instead, or just have her write books, and keep the freelance career for the other one, even though, well, no, because that doesn't work because the other one is the one that's broken. The maker one doesn't work and I can't advance in it. So maybe I'll keep the freelance career for the writer, and for the one who is a maker, I will have her just make money for them off of making furniture and selling it and stuff. Maybe that's what I'll do. But either way, you will not find a lot of Sims in my save file, who have freelance careers, because at least for me, they are broken. So this house all got started, and yes, I'm cutting out big chunks of the video because otherwise this video would run I think 28 or 29 minutes. So I tried to cut it down as much as possible, but I'm also just kind of randomly going through and cutting out big boring chunks that don't need to be there. But this is the Tinker House, and this is an Evergreen Harbor. So this is also connected to Lacey, her grandparents, their house, the cemetery, the photography studio, and camera shop in Newcrest, because I actually started in Evergreen Harbor first, and I was attempting to make one of those community lots that that changes from community garden to makerspace to seller space or whatever, And I lost inspiration about halfway through making it, and I'm like, well, I need to get to know this neighborhood a little bit better. I need to get to know the Sims that are already living here a little bit better. I need to decide, do I really want this to stay the neutral neighborhood? Do I want it to be the green neighborhood and make the neighborhood with the quarry lot the neutral neighborhood? What's my end goal here for this area of the game. And so I started playing the Tinkers a little bit, and I got to know them a little bit. At first, I played them to try to alter the neighborhood, and I played in the house that was originally here. I didn't like it, it wasn't my style. I knew eventually I would come in and, you know, change it a little bit. I wasn't gonna change like the structure of the building, but I was going to sort of maybe keep the traditional charm of it, but do some updates and upgrades, basically. Do a little bit of renovating. And then I got to really playing, and I realized the Tinker family would probably live in a more modern house. This neighborhood definitely lends itself to more modern style and structure. The original, like, setting of the neighborhood as far as eco friendliness goes, that I wanted to have, or that was also already here. I kind of ended up settling on keeping it the neutral neighborhood in the end. And so I'm like, all of those factors together, I think if this was real life people, they'd probably prefer a modern house more than that really overly ornate and stuffy traditional house. So I demolished the lot, and I'm like, well, we'll do this first, and then we'll go on to the community lot, and then we'll do the other house in this neighborhood, and then I'll go back to doing a few more summer lots and stuff like that. Honestly, the minute my daughter's school registration notification came in my email and the stores all started putting out school supplies, I lost all inspiration for summer builds, and my mind immediately jumped to fall and winter. So I might, right at the tail end of summer, do a few more summer related builds, or early fall, when I'm like, dang, why was I so anxious to jump ahead to fall and winter? You know what I mean? I will go back to doing those. But anyways, I wanted to give the Tinkers a new house. I must have built them a house and then demolished it 5 times before I finally settled on this one. I cannot tell you the amount of time I put into giving them a new house. It was ridiculous. Almost as ridiculous as playing the game for 7 hours just to get a couple of elderly Sims to die. It was almost that level of ridiculousness, right? But anyways, I did eventually settle on this. And then I got it all done, and I wanted to personalize it more. Obviously, I wasn't thinking when I demolished the original, and I ended up deleting some of the furniture that they had made themselves for their house. So I wanted to play the game for a little bit and make them some new furniture to kind of customize it with the fabricated furniture a little bit. And while I was doing that, I'm like, what would really actually add a personal touch to this lot is if I have the daughter make some artwork to go above the family computer. So I started on that, and to have some family photos around the house, because a lot of people don't play with those, don't do them. Not that there is a family photo option, because there's not, which I wish there was. A group option to take pictures with babies, toddlers, and children, along with, and teens as well, along with young adult, and elderly Sims. But right now you can only take group photos of young adults, and elderly Sims, and that's it. which I find really weird, but I didn't even think of that when I started the process of customizing this house. So the idea was I took a few photos of them individually. I hung them above the TV, which you'll see in a few minutes here. And then I wanted to take one large family photo and put it in the dining room space. It's not really a dining room, but it is a dining space. It's right between those two windows. I wanted to have a family portrait there. So I played these guys a little while to get them going in their new house and their new life, and to get some furniture put into here and stuff that they make themselves, which I don't think you will see in this video. It was added later, but you will see it in the walkthrough at the end of the video, which I know I've been kind of slacking on my walkthroughs lately. It takes a lot more to produce a video with a walkthrough than it does a video with screenshots. Actually, now that I'm looking at the time of this video, I'm really sorry, but I might do screenshots for this one again. Only because this video is really super long already, and it's such a big house. I don't know, when I get to the end of recording this voiceover, because I always save the walkthrough for the end because I never talk over the walkthrough. I put music over the walkthrough. So I always decide after I've done the voice recordings and done the final edit of the video, whether I'm actually going to do a walkthrough or not. Although lately my decision has been less about the length of the video and whether I can fit a walkthrough in there or not, and more about whether I just feel up to doing the walkthrough, because it can take a good hour just to film and edit the walkthrough itself. And that's if everything goes super smoothly. But at the very least, you'll see the pictures of where the house and the family are kind of at this particular moment in time of the save file. I don't think I'm going to play them any further other than, like I said, to alter their jobs and stuff a little bit possibly. That'll be about it. So what you see for screenshots at the end of this video is kind of what you're gonna get. I'm trying to remember, did I even bother with screenshots at the end of my last video? I don't think I did. I was so tired when I made my little craftsman cottage video. I haven't been sleeping well. I have no idea what I did in that video, to be honest with you, because I have not been sleeping well lately. But anyways, in this one, I'll decide at the end. So while I'm recording this, I have no idea while I'm recording this voiceover, I should say, I have no idea whether you're gonna see screenshots or a walkthrough at the end. Deeply sorry about that, but that's just kind of the way I roll. But I will decide here in a minute. So I got to playing the family and I redid their house, and I'm like, I want these family photos. And I got this idea for another family, a young adult sim who has a mother, father, uncle, and 2 grandparents. The grandparents have died and left her everything. The other family members are off living their lives throughout the world, right? And Lacey, oops, I hit my cup. Lacey was sort of needed for this family to do the family photographs. I don't know how else to explain it, but you know what I'm saying, right? I needed a photography sim somewhere in the world who had a photography studio, because at the time I was thinking you can do group shots with the photography studio. So I'll just have all 3 of them get together at the photography studio and stand there, and I'll have Lacey take a picture of them, and then I can have them buy the picture from her at her camera shop, right? I can switch back over to the Tinker family, and like I can have Lacey put the picture for sale and then switch back over to the Tinker house and have them purchase it, I believe. You know, I never did test that. I think you can, though. I think that would work. regardless, I was somehow gonna get Lacey to give the Tinkers their family photo. Well, it took me 7 hours to get the grandparents to die because I wanted Lacey to live alone and I wanted her to live in this old house that isn't necessarily her style, but it's not her style, and she's kind of living in the guest room. She didn't want to move into her grandparents' room. Like, I had this whole backstory figured out in my mind for her, but it needed the grandparents to have passed away in order for this whole backstory to be right. So I played for 7 hours only to realize that Lacey cannot take a group photo of the three of them together because the daughter is a child. I even tried bringing her to their home and having them all sit on the couch and then having Lacey take a picture of them all sitting on the couch together. But like in real life, I could not get them all to sit facing Lacey with their eyes opened and not talking to each other, turning to the side and making weird gestures and stuff. So eventually I gave up. They have no family photo, but they do have some other personal photos of each other around the house and stuff. And they have some artwork that the little girl drew, and they have some of the maker furniture throughout their house a little bit. Nothing excessive, just sort of customized it all a little bit so it was a little more not just out of build and buy mode. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like, this family has been living here for a while and all that kind of stuff, right? So there is those customizations. Also, I was wrong. In my last one, I accidentally grabbed some Strangerville columns, and so it made it not a base game build. And I couldn't find any columns that I liked to replace them with that fit with the style and had the right color wood and stuff. So I ended up in the end just uploading the version that I added pack stuff into and that the career reward items were in only. And this is going to end up kind of the same way. There were some items in here that came from packs that I just could not find a replacement for, no matter how hard I tried to make it a base game build that I actually liked and felt good about uploading to the gallery. So this is another one of those, there is no base game version available. I'm really sorry about that. I know I keep saying I'm going to keep trying not to do that. I think I'll take a couple of weeks, maybe in August or September, and just do a whole bunch of base game only builds. Not just for the save file, but just in general. So people have those available. And then do a second version of each of those that also has, things like the thermostat added in and the decorating for holidays box added in, and those kind of things that are kind of essential if you have any of the packs sort of things. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Anyways, we're coming up on the end of this speed build here in just a second. And there's not much more to tell. Lacey's grandparents did end up dying. They left her a hefty sum of money because the grandfather couldn't retire from his job and he just kept racking up the money. They left her house. I do have the photography studio started, but it's going to take a while to get it finished, so that will come out probably in the fall or the winter. And I'm going to come back and continue to work on this neighborhood now. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. All support is appreciated, and I'll see you in the next video.